Lost in the dark.
What the fuck is up, Crip Crow? Holy shit. We are lost in the dark from Lansing, motherfucking Michigan. And we are here to do one thing tonight, and that's talk to you about heavy fucking metal. God damn it.
Well, that was a different intro.
I know, right? Kind of a little like rip off of Randy Blythe's stage shit. We're a Lamb of God from Richmond, motherfucking Virginia.
Every time.
No, dude, this is, I think, this is the first one we've done this year, just you and I, since the Filthy 15, correct?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the first like normal episode of 2021, really.
Yeah.
That's kind of fucking crazy.
I mean, considering we're like the first weekend of February, and it's
right. Right.
I don't know, I feel like that kind of just happened. Like I don't know. We just kind of like, it's like, all right, we'll just, we put out the main like album of the year, like wrap the year up kind of episode, and then take a little time away, and now kind of like, 'cause I feel like now we have a few more like plans and a few more like, it's a little more like reignited than
it was kind of rocky and slow start to the year, that's for sure. With the whole Lexi thing and what we talked about before we got on, we both just been kind of like in a weird place in the last like week and a half. So yeah, it's been kind of a rocky and weird start, but I do feel the momentum starting to pick up. You know what I'm saying? So so there's that at least. For sure. Yeah.
I mean, shit, I started off the year like fucking breaking my hand, damn near.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Not being able to do shit, and like, I don't know, it's just been, it's not how I wanted to start things, but here we are. So,
but it's definitely good to be back here, back in the crypt, with you. That Filthy 15 episode was amazing. If you haven't seen that yet, check that out.
All 5.5 hours of it.
I did release the clips though. There are shorter chunks you can watch, but it is 5.5.
Well, what's funny is you say the shorter versions, but really like it's like 2 hours. Like
it's still 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hour clips. Yeah, no. Let's get everyone in on our little joke right now. Here, Aaron. It's 9:00 right now. Let's try. I'm gonna say it. Let's try to keep this episode at about an hour long. It's going to be 3 hours long, everybody. Just so you know. But that's our joke. Like we always say, let's try to keep it to an hour. Ends up 3 hours minimum. Yeah. So like it happens every fucking time. Literally. But yeah.
Well, it's very like I feel like that kind of overlaps in a lot of aspects of my life, because that's how like within the band, that's how like our songwriting works. We're like, we're gonna write a song that's like 3.5 minutes long, and then it ends up being like 6.
Well, that's
like, all right, that's good. Like
that's you know what though? That kind of makes sense though, right? That's kind of like the thing with like creating something. Like you don't want it like you go in with an intention, but then you end up liking more, so you're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of, I get that. That's interesting. That's actually kind of really interesting that you say that about the band. That's cool. Actually, I was gonna save this till the end, but fuck it, we'll do that right now. Speaking of the band, you guys just released new single, Orcs, last Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's this isn't gonna come out for a few days. It's the 5th of February right now. But this is a single that was like written on Twitch when you guys were doing the Twitch streams.
Yeah, it was like early last year before things got weird.
Yes.
We spent a lot. There's even like, I think you might be able to find the actual videos of us like putting the ideas together. Oh, excuse me. on our Twitch kind of like backlog stuff. But yeah, it was like one of the well, yeah, one of the first and like really kind of only things that we ended up like kind of salvaging from those sessions and stuff so far.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that like I think it's sick. I like that song.
Oh, it's dude, it's phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like put out a lyric video or something so I can react to it. Like it is like yeah, dude. Like
a lot of atmosphere to it.
it kind of when I was listening to it, the thought that one of the thoughts that went through my head was reminiscent of Monstrous in some ways. To me.
Yeah.
But yet like an evolved version or something. Like it's but
there's a little there's yeah. And it's weird because Monstrous is the song that's come up more than any of the others the last like the last few weeks for me, because like a lot of times I'll just like turn on our stuff and like that'll just come on. I'll be like,
oh,
man,
okay.
this jams. Like,
oh, I love that song.
And I wanna do a cover of it coming up pretty soon. Just because it's really sick. And if like ultimately I'd like to, and I think Chase and I were talking about this a while back, but I'd like to do like a full on like playthrough of every song off every album.
And that's another thing to mention on your page, Aaron Gray, Gray. You took 10 seconds before we started this, just fucking dropped a Slipknot cover drum playthrough. So and you're going to be starting to drop more playthroughs over the next few weeks. So everybody, link in the description below to that channel. Check that out for sure. But yeah, man. So my question though is, because when you guys released Orcs, it was with a big long post. Do you have any news, any information? Are you guys like working on anything? Like what's the future?
Well, we're talking, yeah, we're talking about, I don't know, it's right now we're just, because it's a lot of like, you know, planning stuff. It's a lot of like, well, you know, and just like seeing how other bands that are going, that are like, you know, peers or whatnot, that are how they're kind of handling things like this and releasing stuff. And for a while it's all still kind of in the early stages of it, but for a while we talked about like, you know, doing like a new song a month, let's say, and then doing like you know, kind of releasing it in some kind of fashion so that by the end of it, like you have a full release sort of a thing. So like to put things out kind of in the same way that you know, like the Acacia Strain or our friends Vestigial are doing it this way as well. I don't know if you follow them or not.
Yeah.
They put out something that's what they were doing and stuff. And I think that at least like with this climate right now, like with the way that, you know, just like shows are not really existent still, and like, you know, it's kind of hard to make any real money off of music right now. I think that like, you know, there's a lot of bands that are trying new stuff, and I think that like for the time being, you know, to do like smaller releases and then kind of like compile it together and have it be like one thing at the end of it is really something that I've seen over the last year or so with a few other bands. So I think that like we definitely talked about doing that. We're still just in the early stages of putting skeletons together and writing stuff, and we're kind of going back through some of the older ideas that we had and seeing kind of what we liked. And, you know, so it's, yeah, like I can't say like anything's like set in stone, like any like releases yet, but I can say that like, you know, we're trying to like figure out what we're still doing with the year really. So
okay, fair enough.
But we just figured with Orcs being you know, just finished for a while, and you know, just kind of trying to you know, get back into things, and you know, trying to like, cause since it's not so much like if I should go anywhere, like I'm gonna kill one of you, like kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Like it's not quite as weird as far as like getting together and stuff, but it like, you know, there's just still some other things, and just but I'll say that like, you know, I would like to think that we'll have out a little bit more than we did last year, just because of the way things rolled. And so yeah, like we're, you know, yeah, it's
Hell
about
yeah.
all I got right now, unfortunately. But we're, you know,
Well, what I can tell you is that the world is hungry for more bog rates. So be
that's
sure, yeah, like, and yeah, I know a lot of people out there are excited about, and myself included, about what comes next for sure.
oh yeah,
So we're
yeah, man.
looking
It's
forward to it, man.
like we're still getting, you know, like posts from people. We're still like, you know, from everybody. Like they seem to be, you know, jamming to and just like really into orcs and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and Titan specifically. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was, you know, like we were on a it's kind of a cool out. Yeah, I have to where my phone's at. Hang on. Because there was a podcast that mentioned us.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, because they heard I think it was they saw the video for, I think it was either Flesh or it was Putridity, and they were talking about it and shouted us out in like an end of the year like podcast episode. So let me see if I can find
Yeah,
them.
but definitely find what that dude. How I need you to tell me how awesome that feels. The fact that you're in a band, you're a host of a podcast, and then another podcast that had you ever heard of it before they mentioned you guys?
I don't think so. Like I feel
Okay.
like I feel like at very most I've seen like the picture of it as I'm like scrolling through on like Spotify or wherever.
Okay, fair enough.
But
But still, like that's when it came across on your radar, really. So,
yeah,
like, how does that feel? Like getting mentioned, like being a podcast host, being in a band, and your band getting mentioned on another podcast. That's gotta fucking.
it was pretty cool, man. Like,
That's gotta be amazing.
you know, and just to kind of like I always get a kick out of like how, because I don't know, a lot of times like we get described in a variety of ways, and like I like that's my favorite part. And like there's, I don't know, he described it as like, if you want to have like stank face for like 17 minutes, then fucking check out Titan, basically. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what we were going for. You know, just like ugly sounding stuff. But yeah, the name, it's the local locust podcast.
I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, man, they did
Local Locust.
I don't know if you can see that.
Get the logo a little closer.
Yeah. Heavy music from the underground. It looks like they talk about, you know, a lot
of bands that are considered underground like we do.
yeah.
I love, you know what? There are a handful of metal podcasts out there that do that. And that's awesome. That's a good logo.
That's not the specific logo, but
That's a good one though. That's nice.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bands out there that or a lot of podcasts out there that are doing that. And that's I think that's a really awesome thing. I mean, you know, including us, honestly, like you know, it honestly, like, it blows my mind that the bands we talk about and talk to, you know, you guys, everybody, it blows my mind they're still considered underground because they're all so fucking good. Like, I'm like, how have you, like, this is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, you know, it's like modern day tape trading in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like word of mouth. Like,
in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how many different, because like, I don't know, like within the last, I mean, well, really towards the end of the year, I kind of start paying attention to like, you know, different podcasts, because, you know, or as far as like music, and like, you know, because I like to, like, for example, when we were doing the end of the year episode, I like to kind of see like where my picks are like versus everybody else's and stuff, and like kind of see like where, like, what everybody else thought was really good versus, and like, so it's
and you'll find new stuff sometimes by doing that. Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I hadn't even like it was the kind of the banger episode that got me to
Yep.
check it out. But like I had
Yep.
heard of that ulcerate band I talked about.
Yep.
That made
Shout out to Banger TV. Yep.
Oh yeah. You know, so just yeah, like you know, it's really cool to have that be like, you know, something that's available because like and like even, you know, to kind of like segue to that, like there's like since we did that episode, there's been so many things that I've come across and I'm like, I'm so mad that I didn't think to add that. I'm so like like
and we may get there tonight.
yeah.
I'll put it that way. But the next thing I did want to mention, I was actually gonna kind of like start off by asking you like if you watched anything cool lately, but we have both watched something very cool lately. Shout out, huge shout out. Wait. Actually, we were just talking about podcasts. Actually, let me segue differently. This is fucking raw. This is off the cuff, people. We had like no plans when we sat down tonight. But I did want to, you know, another because we were just talking about like other metal podcasts and really good ones and stuff. I do want to give a gigantic shout out to Vox and Hops, hosted by Matt from Cryptopsy. They do a Thirsty Thursday like Zoom meeting every Thursday, and he has like a guest on, and then like a bunch, you know, whoever's in the group on Facebook can be on as well, because they'll get the link if they're in the group. Vox and Hops Thirsty Thursday Gang, I believe is the name of the group. And I was invited on last night because he had on Keith from the Convalescence. And Keith invited me on. He hit me up, and dude, like it was. I recommend if you're seeing this right now and you're a metalhead that's been moshing with walls for the past year, and headbanging in your living room, get into this group. And these people that I talked to last night were just wonderful, beautiful, genuine, incredible people. It like sitting there, being in the Zoom meeting with all these people from all over the world, literally felt like I was standing in a venue when in between bands. In between when bands are setting up and you just start talking to people, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's literally what it felt like. It was like, and it's the first time I felt that in a year. Like, it's the first time I felt like I was like social. I'd never been in a big Zoom meeting before outside of like doing our podcast and stuff. And they never get, you know, there's never more than 3 or 4 people, different, you know, squares or whatever. But man, like I just wanted to give a massive shout out. Everybody follow, like, and subscribe, and write a review on Apple and everything for the Vox and Hops podcast. Enjoying the Vox and Hops Thirsty Thursday gang group. And if you join that, they check the post that Matt makes, because this is where I fucked up last night. Check the post that Matt makes about who, you know, who's going to be on that week. So follow it, pay attention to the post, because the post is where the Zoom link is. So you can just click on that in the post, and then if you got Zoom, bada bing, bada boom, you're good. So everybody be sure to check that out, because it is the people in that group are very cool, very wonderful people. And that was a lot of fun. And if any of you are seeing this right now, I will be back, I promise. And I won't be as quiet. I'm just shy. So yeah.
Well, like it, you know, kind of like what you're saying, like it's you know, if after a year of being like deprived of that kind of interaction, like it's cool that there's my only thing, and it was like one of the first things I asked was like, okay, so there was at least like, you know, would you say like 8 or 10 people, maybe.
I mean, it started off probably when I got in, because I fucked up. I was fucking up. I didn't know that the link was in the post. I thought it was in the about section, and I didn't see the post because it was a little bit like a few days ago.
Yeah.
But once I figured that out, they were already like an hour and a half in. And the way I think it works is that he has the guest on with everybody. He kind of like interviews the guest for a little while, and then everybody can join in the conversation, but everybody's still there. You know what I mean? So I think that's the way it works, but I didn't get in until like an hour and a half after they were already going. So I missed the first part, sadly, because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, something's wrong with my Zoom. I'm going to uninstall it and reinstall it and update it and restart my computer and all this shit. Yeah, so I think that's the way it works. And wait, what was your question?
Just like because there were so many of them. Like
no. Yeah, at when I first joined in, an hour and a half in, so I can't speak to before that. But when I first joined in, 15 to 20 people, easily, maybe more.
Yeah.
So it was a good amount of people, and the group, the Vox and Hops Thirsty Thursday gang group on Facebook, I think only has like 170, 180 members. So if like 20 people off that a week are joining, that's actually pretty amazing numbers. So
it sounds like a pretty like different way to almost do a podcast, like to
literally is. And when Matt and Keith hopped off, apparently this is a thing, because he referred to it as, all right, I got to make somebody the host for the after party. And I guess that's where we just stay on, like the everybody else just stays on and chill. And I just sat there and chilled with everybody. And it was, I just kind of zoned out, focused on the computer, and literally felt like I was in the same room as all these people. Like it was absolutely amazing. Like it was, and we were just talking and everybody's having a great time and having some drinks, you know what I mean? Like it was phenomenal. So I cannot recommend that enough. And Aaron and I will definitely be back in there. We'll try to make it a regular thing, put it that way.
Yeah,
absolutely. Cool. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I can't wait to do it with you, honestly. Like, yeah.
I just want to see how it all works. Like, because like mostly just in how you're explaining it to me. Like, I'm like, all right, I could, because like, you think like you got like 20 people on a voice, like a video chat. You're like, it would be just nonstop. Like,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There was some like, there were certain moments where people kind of like talked over each other and stuff like that or whatever. But like, it worked way better than I imagined it would with that many people. Like it really did work really well. And I, because think about it like a concert, because you're standing at a concert and you got people all around you and then people all around them. So you hear all their chatter, but the people closest to you, you hear their, it's kind of that vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it was really fucking cool. It was a great time. So shout out to Vox and Hops, everybody. Check them out. Subscribe. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. And where I was going before, speaking of the convalescence, and Keith, who hit me up last night to be on that, you and I did just watch something recently that was amazing. Rituals of the Damned, the new convalescence live interview DVD thing. It's available on Amazon Prime. Get on Amazon Prime and fucking watch this shit. Aaron and I've watched it twice. Aaron and I watched it together the other night. There is tons of incredible live footage in there. I think there are even some concerts that we were at. And like, honestly, like there's been a couple times, but there's been a couple times this year, but that hands down or over, I should say over the course of the pandemic, because this came out in 2021. But over the course of the pandemic, there's been a couple instances, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or 4 instances where bands have released something where I actually genuinely felt like I was at the show. And this is another one of those instances. This
Yeah.
Convalescence movie, I actually felt like I was at that show, even if I was, just by watching it, you know what I mean? And it was like, for
I'll have to link this too, but that's the
there you go. Yep. That's it right there. And for metalheads like us, who this is our life, this is what we do. We thrive off of this, and especially the live shows. For people like us, in a situation that we're all in, for bands to release stuff that even gives us an inkling of that feeling of being at the show. I mean, it's like, okay, your music has helped me through some of the hardest times in my life, and now you're helping me through another one. Like, it's just unbelievable. It just means the fucking world to us as fans. And yeah, like, it just means the absolute fucking world to us. The Lamb of God live stream, the Reflection of Flesh live stream is another one. The Parkway Drive live album, Viva La Underdogs. And then this one are really, the Black Dahlia one was incredible, and I fucking love it, but it didn't really make me feel like I was there. You know what I'm saying?
that one. Yeah, that was more of like
it was more of like its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
these other ones made me feel like I was there.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And when I was watching them, so that's like, for them to do that in this kind of situation, it just means the world to me. And I feel like I speak for a lot of fans out there. It just means the fucking world.
Well, it was cool too, because they're a band that, like, a lot of people, like, if you're not paying attention, like, you don't really know it. They've been around for a good while now.
Mm-hmm.
And like to see them do, like, I mean, I think this is their second documentary style thing. Like,
yeah, because they released The Making of the Monument of Misery last year, just a few months ago.
Yeah. And then this one, which I thought they were the same thing. I thought they were like, oh, we're just gonna live stream, like, post it on here, but it's a whole different, like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man, it was like, all the like side interviews with everybody, and then like them showing like the parts of there was like 2 different, I think it was like one from like 2018, and then there was like a 2019 from Michigan Metal Fest.
Yeah, and we were there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I think I was because we played the year, it was the 2018 year, the 2017 year.
Yeah.
And
that was so much fun.
Yeah, because that was like, because we were like, all of our merch stuff was like in the middle there, so we were like past I remember
you were just like 5 or 10 booths away from their booth.
Yeah, which I didn't know about. But yeah, it was, so it was just cool to see that. It was cool to like I said, like, to have like a kind of more of a band that's like kind of paving their own way in the
I've said it many times before, they are to me, in my concert going experience and in my perspective of watching bands and learning about their careers and stuff like that, I mean, they are following the path of your Cannibal Corpse, your Black Dahlia Murder, your Hatebreed. Like, they are the next one of them to me. Like, the ones that are just relentless, always true to the sound, relentless touring, like, just putting in the work. They're putting in the work. Like, I'm amazed by, because like, anybody who watches this show probably notices at the end of our videos, we never tell anyone to like or subscribe any of our shit. And in fact, during the video, I tell you to like and subscribe to other bands' shit, right? Yeah. So I did it earlier in this video already. So like I'm really bad at self-promotion. I'm good at promoting other stuff, but I'm really bad at promoting like self-promotion. You know what I mean? But that's one of the things I am amazed by the convalescents. Every single fucking day, I see 10 to 15 posts with big, long explanations of you know, live footage, live photographs, new releases, you know, to any whatever. Like they're so good at that. And that's something I try to kind of like take note from, you know what I mean, on social media and stuff. They are so phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
They are, and I honestly feel like that's what Cannibal, Hatebreeder, Dahlia would have done if they were coming up in, you know, 2015 to 2020, as opposed to the fucking 90s or you know, early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is like they are the fucking real deal. They're some of the hardest working people in the industry, and I not only adore them, but I understand. I think that a few of their posts recently were talking about them working on the next album. So very fingers fucking crossed that comes out this year. I would fucking love some new like that Monument of Misery album floors me to this day. I still go back to it. Like it floors me to this day.
Oh,
like
that's
amazing.
That's what we were talking about, because like like it's like The House of Suffering and the other
One of the Dead.
Like,
come on.
Yeah. What else? Like just
One of the Dead.
Yeah.
Come on. Like so sick, dude. It's there's so many songs on that album that blow my mind.
What's he's a parasite in life becomes a host in death, or something?
Becomes a host in death.
Yeah, I don't remember what song that's from, but like,
dude,
yeah,
I fucking love that. The lyrics
like,
are amazing.
Shit.
Yeah, they're fucking, and my God, that like talk about a band that brings the fucking thunder alive. Like,
yeah.
I've seen them during the middle of the day, and they had like the biggest pit of the day. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what Cannibal did, Dahlia and Hatebreeder. You know what I mean? Like they all have those stories too, like in some way. Like it really is that to me. And I DIY till you die, and my hat is always off to them. And hopefully, little spoiler, we maybe having somebody back on soon. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give a giant shout out to the Convalescents. Rituals of the Damned was outstanding. I've showed it to you. I watched it by myself. I'm probably gonna watch it by myself again, and I'm probably gonna show it to Preston and Matt, and I'm just gonna get it out there and show it to all my friends, because it's that fucking amazing. And it just really, really like gave me some juice. You know what I mean? It really like energized me in a lot of ways.
Listen to the fucking Convalescents, man.
Listen to those fucking out. You know what? Link in the description below. To like the one of the I'll put the One of the Dead video in the link. I'll write that down. One of the Dead video in the link below. Newest video and their Facebook. Because that's where you'll find the link to the Rituals of the Damned on Amazon Prime. I honestly, I really hope that they like maybe like re-release Monument of Misery with the DVD, the making of, because I would buy the fuck out of that, or at least release that making of Monument of Misery and Rituals of the Damned on their own standalone DVD. I would buy the fuck out of those people. So if you guys are seeing this, please like keep that in mind. Your fans would definitely love hard copies of these documentaries, because I am I'm not just a collector of CDs. I'm a collector of metal music documentaries that I love. So, and if there's a version of an album that comes out with the making of DVD, I always get that one. Always, always,
Yeah.
always. Speaking of, Lamb of God just announced
Yeah.
the re-release of the self-titled with the
Yeah.
live DVD from their
Yeah.
live stream and the live CD. Everybody be sure to check that out.
Bonus tracks. Like,
But and 2 bonus tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Both of us have already pre-ordered it.
Yeah. Maybe we could oh yeah, I had to
immediately.
what,
like we saw it pop up and we're like, done.
Yeah.
Done.
That was like one of the first things that I saw today, and I was like, all right, well, that's happening. Like, I didn't gotta think about it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I stayed up super late last night, so I did
Yeah.
it last night when like they announced it at like 2, 3, or 4 in the morning. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
There's certain bands that like or just certain things that like when they come up, you're like, I don't even have to think about this.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. And that is a wonderful segue into
I was hoping
the other pre-order I did last night. Cannibal Corpse, their
Dude.
15th album
fucking
coming out in April. And what's it called again? Look that up for me. But big news. There's look up the name of the single too. I forgot the name of the single. But they've released a single. They have announced an album. We got the cover art pre-orders are up right now. We got new cover. Be amazing new cover art from my motherfucker Vince Locke. I fucking love him. One of, if not my favorite cover. It's between him and Derek Riggs, my favorite cover artists of all time. And just fucking amazing. But the biggest news we have outside of the fact that they have their 15th album coming out and the amazing cover art is the fact that we have a new Cannibal Corpse guitarist, our motherfucker, Eric motherfucking Rutan of Hate Eternal is officially the new guitarist of Cannibal Corpse. He has already produced 5 of their albums in the past, I believe, and produced and wrote 3 songs on this album, produced, mixed, and mastered, and wrote 3 songs on this album, as far as I understand, according to the post that he made. And like Aaron and I could not be more excited because the last time we saw Cannibal, our brothers Recorruptor, Lansing's own Recorruptor, opened for them. Check out Funeral Corridor. Opened for them at the intersection in Grand Rapids. I want to say 2 years ago now. About 2 years ago now. And Eric Rutan and Hate Eternal were opening, and Eric Rutan also played guitar for Cannibal on that tour. So we you and I have actually gotten to see this live already. And he was also their guitarist on the Slayer Farewell tour, which was actually the last time we saw them.
Oh, yeah.
Now I think about
that.
Yeah, DT at Pine Knob. Yeah. So we actually have seen this lineup live already. And it's, I mean, Eric is just one of the best guitarists out there right now. You'd be hard pressed. I mean, for me at least, I'd be hard pressed to think of a better death metal guitarist, honestly. Like straight death metal. Like it would be hard for me to come up with someone whose guitar I like more. In terms of straight death metal. Yeah.
For me, speaking like, cause like I've been kind of like I've been obviously more into Cannibal Corpse than Hate Eternal in the last just kind of starting out. Like Cannibal's always been like one of those bands. It's like as soon as I got into them, like the doors were open for me as far as like music between them and like Dahlia, I'd say. But like
Cannibal was very much my bridge band into death.
Yeah,
metal,
I'll say Black Dahlia Murder was mine, but that's kind of more of a like just like melodic sense. That's more of like it's because it's, to me it's different. Like I feel like you get into it a few ways, but like it kind of depends on like the style you're looking for. Because to me, like Cannibal got me into bands like Suffocation and like Immolation and like the real like kind of old school like traditional style of death metal versus like Dahlia, who got me into more like the technical side of things. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Is I don't really personally. I mean, maybe I'm sure a lot of people do. Personally, I don't really consider Dahlia like a straight death metal band. Like, if you're a death metal band, I don't really think you have highs in your vocals. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But I don't think you ever go da 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 in a true death metal. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just my perspective. But that's what it is kind of to me.
Yeah, that was kind of more what I was trying to like get at, was that like Cannibal is very like what I would consider like the truest form of, or like I guess like the best place to start if you want to get into like just like straightforward like death metal, like old school style stuff.
I agree.
Whereas like and I'm only saying Dahlia because that's kind of what like one of the bands that started it for me was like they kind of like, you know, got me into more like the At the Gate style, like the more like melodic, like actual, you know, like guitar driven stuff, and that's a little more like faster paced and like technical than just like, you know, like because I love both sides, and I think that like, you know, like the fact that, I mean, like let's, you know, to kind of fall back on the new Cannibal, like, man,
you got the name in the album? Name of the single in
Violence,
the album?
Violence Unimagined.
That's what it is. Yes, Violence Unimagined is the name of the album. And what's the name of the single? Like Inhumane Massacre.
Inhumane Harvest.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing that like did it for me was the guitar solo in it, because that has Eric Rutan all over it. Like
literally exactly what I was gonna say.
Like it's in a lot of times, like, and that's like, you know, kind of what I was saying, like I didn't really get fully into Hate Eternal until, let me see.
Was it the album that you bought when we saw him live?
Well, that was one of them, but it was Phoenix Amongst the Ashes was the album that I got into him on, that I kind of started paying attention. And then like with that, because Infernus was 2015, the one before I was talking about was 2011, and then obviously Upon Desolate Sands was the one that we saw him on, and that one is like something else entirely.
Insane.
What I like is that he's not like abandoning one for the other. Like
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to bring up. I was going to say, for the record, Hate Eternal is not ending because Eric Rutan joined Cannibal Corpse. Like they are, he said very clearly in his post on Facebook, check it out, and on all social media, that Hate Eternal will very much continue. And they will write the next album. You know, the way he said it was when the time is right. So, you know, there is more Hate Eternal coming. It's not like Hate Eternal is ending or anything he's doing. He's still going to continue his productions for bands. He's still a producer. One of
my favorites.
One of my favorites as well. Yeah.
Modern, like he did I think, like you said, the last 5, so that he did
I don't know if it was, I think he did 5 Cannibal albums total, but not in order.
Right. Yeah. There was like 1 or 2 that in there that I don't think that he did. But
yeah.
You see.
Like I don't think he did Skeletal Domain, and that was right before the last one, before Red Before Black.
Yeah.
So I don't think he did them in order, but I think he did a total of 5, beginning at the album immediately before or after Wretched Spawn, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
Because he didn't do Wretched Spawn either.
No, I got Kill, Evisceration, Plague, Torture, Red Before Black, and then the newest one. So he didn't do Skeletal.
Okay, so yeah, it was Kill was the first one.
Yeah,
and that was the first one after Wretched Spawn. So yeah,
So that makes sense.
So he's done 4 after Wretched Spawn, then Skeletal Domain, someone else did, and then he's doing the new one. And now he's the guitarist.
Yeah, I think that was. You know, I want to say that was with Mark Lewis, who did. Yeah, it was. Let me see.
Skeletal.
Yeah.
All right. I love that album. Skeletal
Oh, yeah,
Domain is one of my favorite Cannibal albums.
Yeah, mostly
Not gonna
just
lie.
like I think that's almost kind of one of the things that makes me like it more than maybe like the a few of the more prior ones is because like it just like there was a few songs on there
It
that
stands
just
out
yeah
between the beautiful landscape style, very unlike them cover artwork. Vince
yeah
Locke.
yeah
Follow him on all social media. Between that and you got your fire up the chainsaw, cut their fucking heads off. I mean,
yeah
it's over. It's over. Like you
yeah.
put that in a hook and it's over. Like
Well, and like the guy that did that album is, I mean, he's done a handful of Dahlia. He's done a bunch of Devil Driver
oh,
records. He's done
really?
yeah,
What Devil Driver?
Last Kind Words.
Shut the fuck up.
Uh,
No wonder.
Winter Kills.
Wow. Okay.
So their last three aside from the most recent two.
Okay. All right. No
that
wonder.
Whitechapel, a bunch of other. But I guess like when they were, I think I saw a interview with Corpse Grinder. He was talking about doing the vocals for Skeletal, and he was saying that like the one thing that like he wished I think he even like specifically asked for Eric to do the vocal tracking on it because they just had such a like a chemistry for it on the last couple prior, and I don't know if that ended up happening. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen that, but like so that's something that like, and like honestly like the ones that he's done, that he's produced, have been like, because I mean really like I started kind of paying attention to him when they released Kill, but it wasn't until Evisceration Play, because that was the album that like that broke it for me. I was like, I'm sold completely, and that's like still one of my favorites. And that was one that Eric Rutan did. But like, yeah, the last like, all of those albums and Skeletal really are kind of like, I feel like the best. And that's, I suppose maybe that's a little controversial, but like whatever. Like to me, like you got like the early style, which is no, no slouch either. Like it's like the reason that death metal is how it is, really. But
yeah.
like
And
I feel like
it's
with their last handful, like they've really kind of the fact that like they're this many in and they're still finding a way to make it like creative, and like I'm still excited every time they drop something, is like
and
I don't know what else to ask for.
like it's also incredible that like when you go back to those old albums, when you consider the style of music that's being made and when they were making it, how little of it existed.
Yeah.
The fact that those old albums still sound so like the production sounds so fucking good is really unbelievable. It's really like actually kind of shocking when you like listen to the production of like other bands coming out in the same area or same era, that are also in extreme forms of music. Because early 90s, late 80s is also when we saw the emergence of black metal and stuff like that. And of course, that production is dog shit, but on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, so to hear production so good early on death metal, and then now getting to this point and have, for me personally, at least having listened to them for the last 15 years, which is 15 years after they started, pretty much.
Yeah. Kind of the same, really.
It's to hear that progression, I feel like, they've just, the production has gotten, it started off like unbelievable, and it's gotten better, and them as musicians have just gotten better, of course. You know what I mean? And that's the benefit for any band out there that might be watching this. That's like, if anybody tells you you're too much this, but then somebody else tells you you're too much that, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. Because Hatebreed was told they're too metal to play with metal bands, but they're too hard or no, they're too
Opposite,
metal
yeah.
to play with hardcore bands, but they're too hardcore to play with metal bands. And, you know, so you're doing something right if you're being told something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel that with Cannibal, and they not in terms of the hardcore thing, but yeah,
Right.
like they have evolved, and like they've stuck to this sound. They haven't changed their sound. They've never had, you know, fucking clean vocals or anything fucking stupid like that. But they have, they have evolved their sound, and to keep you interested, and gotten so much better as musicians. It's like it actually, so what you said actually makes sense to me, in my opinion. Like, though some of the newer albums being your favorite, you said it might be controversial. Yeah, it might be controversial to some of the old schoolers, but that have sentimental value with those older albums, as I do with Wretched Spawn. But because that's the first one that got me into them. But I cannot deny, even despite my sentimental value for that album and previous ones, I cannot deny the musicianship has gotten better. And that's the advantage of sticking with the same sound, right? In a sense, yeah, you could argue the same thing for a band that changes their sound. Oh, the musicianship got better, it just did it in a different way or whatever. Yes, you could argue that. But I'm arguing that if you stick with the same sound, it's 100,000 hours, right, to master your craft. And if you change your craft before the 100,000 hours, you didn't master what you were just working on, right? Like, so, like, it's just these bands like Cannibal, Hatebreed, Dahlia, Convalescence, that are just honing this specific signature thing, AC/DC. You know what I mean? Like, these are the bands that have done that, and these are the bands that have lasted 30, 40, 50 years. You know what I mean? And there's a fucking reason for that, because they've honed a sound, they've honed a craft. And yeah, some people might say, oh, it all sounds the same. Well, you're not listening. If it all sounds the same to you, then you're not fucking listening.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of the conversation, because I'm listening and it doesn't sound the same to me. It's a signature sound that they have created, but it doesn't fucking sound all the same. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's the signature sound in there, and that's what they're referring to as sounding the same. But to me, that's not what sounds the same. It's just a signature sound, and it's something I'm addicted to. So it's magic to me. It's magic.
Well, I think it speaks to the longevity of and the fact that, like, I don't think
Slayer's another one. Go on.
I don't think that, like, that old school death metal style has ever really been lost.
Nope.
I think that because to kind of further back that up, like, I think there's a reason that there's quite a bit of, like, it's like a resurgence in, like, newer bands doing, like, the old school style.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of keeping that thing, because, like,
and
you know, like, that's, like, early Cannibal is always going to be awesome. The same way newer Cannibal to me is always going to be awesome.
Yes,
and it's always,
exactly.
It's like that, like, whereas there, like, Suffocation, like Dying Fetus, Morbid Angel, those kind of bands, like, they really kind of, like, laid the groundwork for what, for the extreme, for, like, what was, to be, like, I guess, like, the next sound, or, like, just the most extreme, like, the next thing up from, like, thrash metal, really. And really, like, since all that happened, and, like, so Cannibal's first record, if Spotify's correct, was out in 1990, but I believe that they were a band, like, later, like, super late part of, like, the 80s, like, I would say.
You don't,
like, maybe forming then, but
their first
record,
No, yeah, you don't. It's very, for that point in time, it's very rare to form a band and release an album the same year. So
Yeah.
they probably had toured. No, I know. Yeah. From the documentary, I know they had toured a bit, and then they went down to Florida to record that album. Yeah,
Yeah, which was Eaten Back to Life.
yes.
But yeah,
One
I
of the
mean,
best
like,
covers
just
ever.
oh, dude, yeah, and even like I'd even say that like the newest cover that they put out is like reminiscent of that in some ways. Maybe it's like the placement of it. I don't know. Like I just kind of like as I was looking at it, I was like, that's kind of.
I said Wretched Spawn, but now that you say that, that actually makes a lot, almost more sense.
I guess yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I can see either way really.
That's a really, yeah, no, it's definitely my favorite cover art since. Oh no, I love Skeletal Domain. I love that.
Yeah.
But it's probably my favorite since Wretched Spawn.
Well, I think
But Vince Locke, you're a bad motherfucker, my friend.
Yeah. I think like between like all, I guess more so like the recent ones, I'd say like the newest one's probably closest to like Torture or Wretched Spawn to me. 'Cause you remember like the inside layout of what Torture looked like, right?
Yes, I actually have that. The one where like they're kind of like they're like their version of Eddie, but their zombie is like underneath, and there's a bunch of hanging bodies. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have. I at the show we saw them with Hate Eternal. I bought that picture signed by all of them.
Oh yeah, that's
Yep.
right, you did. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like just I don't know, like and like it was kind of and like I almost wish that I would have had like that they would have kind of like waited to like put out the full cover of it because like I didn't see that until I got the CD cover
Yeah,
of
I
it.
think.
I
I
just saw
think.
like the initial of it. So like
Yeah.
when I got it and was like going through it and like open it up, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm pretty sure my copy is the cover of just the guy in
Yeah.
the circle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was. It was like a slip cover that was over
Yeah.
it. When you
Yeah.
took that off, it was the thing. Like I was like, man, like that must have been how it was like the old school style where like you're like, oh, this is what it is, and then you like take it off, it's just like a bigger picture. And that's like it was kind of well, I don't know, I guess I had like a similar response to it because when they first announced it, like there were all these little like promotional pictures that they posted about it, like, oh, like we'll put this out and like there was like different things, and I was like that doesn't look like the same art. Like there must be another thing. And then like seeing the actual like what it ended up being, it was like, holy shit! Like this
Yeah.
is
It's fucking awesome.
yeah. But to kind of go back to like the music side of things. Like I think, and it's something I've been paying attention a lot more to is like I feel like within the last like 2 or 3 years, like we've really seen this like becoming of like that old school style like coming back into like newer bands.
I agree.
Like there's what was it, like there's they called like Tomb Mold, like Gate Creeper,
Oh yeah.
those
Oh
kind of
yeah.
bands.
I know
Like
them.
those I think wow, what was the band, there was one I was listening to a while ago, it was really cute. I think it was Fuming Mouth.
Okay.
That kind of had that same like super like blast beady, like like gurgly like vocal kind of stuff, but it's like just I don't know, like it's very reminiscent of like earlier Cannibal Corpse, and I feel like that probably speaks to just the legacy of that band and like just that sound probably more than anything, is that like now we have like the new school bands trying to sound like the old style of and doing it like in ways that are pretty crazy, like modern vintage.
Yes, yeah, and
kind of sound.
they're doing it. They're doing it because they were influenced by by multiple bands, of course, and they're marrying these different sounds in amazing ways. And that's actually another perfect segue, Aaron. Thank you. To the next thing I wanted to talk about, which was by the time you all are seeing this, I've already released the Nervosa Dark Reflections for their fourth full-length studio album, Perpetual Chaos. Amazing. And the reason why that's such a great segue is because they are a band who is just released a brand new album in 2021, but it sounds like it could have came out in the 90s. Like in the way that they marry the thrash, death, and black elements is amazing. But the reason why I kind of wanted to bring it up, honestly, it's kind of something different, is because I felt like, I released it as is, but I felt like I was clunky on it. I did feel like I was clunky on it, and that's just, like, I kind of just wanted to make the point that, like, what are we? I don't fucking know even how many episodes we're in or how many years we've been doing this now, but this many people, like this many, you can still do something and still feel clunky. You know what I'm saying? We're still working out our 10,000 hours. So, I felt clunky, but I still wanted to release it. And I don't know. I guess I just kind of wanted to bring that up to kind of like tell people to not be discouraged by like, don't worry about it. Just fucking do it and then keep doing it. And that's what matters. And you're going to have ones where you feel a little off, but then the next one is going to be that much better because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it's kind of that. I don't know. Like it's just something I was thinking about, and I'm going to release it here soon, probably tomorrow. And by the time this comes out, it'll be a few days ago.
I don't know if you like took it from Joey Diaz or whatever, but I always like the term punch in the bag.
No, I actually, that's one. You know what? Okay.
I feel like I've heard him say something similar to that, but I like, regardless, like it's that's what it is. Like anytime I say that, yes. Sorry.
No. Go on.
I was just like, anytime it's the same thing that I'm finding with like, it's like sitting down to practice and like
practicing,
and like
yes.
Not, like recording stuff, but like not posting it because like for one reason or another, because you're seeing certain things in it. And like, that's all,
right.
Like that's all just like putting in the hours. That's like,
yes.
Punching the bag.
Punching the bag. Yeah.
Like,
no,
yeah.
I didn't, that's actually, I do, I am, put it this way, I am very influenced by Joey Coco Diaz, but that I didn't take that phrase from him, but that sentiment, that same sentiment is something that he puts out in every fucking podcast episode. And it's something that every time it used to be the Church of What's Happening Now, but now he's got the new one, which is Uncle Joey's Joint. Every time, yes, amazing. And every time I listen to him, every time I listen to one of his podcasts, I'm like, I need to do a podcast tonight. Like, because that's something that he talks about a lot with the changing from church to Uncle Joey's Joint. He moved from Los Angeles back to New Jersey and like had to set up a podcast studio and everything. And he even said on like one of the most recent ones, he was like, if I had waited to get the proper microphones and proper cameras and all that shit, then the first episode would be dropping now, which was literally like last week. And I would be totally out of practice. Like the first 2 or 3 or 4 months of Uncle Joey's Joint was recorded on an iPhone.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying, people. Like that is the sentiment I am trying to put out. Like, don't fucking worry about the equipment. Don't fucking worry about how good you sound or how good you look or whatever. Because guess what? You're going to sound and look like dog shit for the first 100 episodes. And we're only 170 who fucking cares whatever in. But so we're still doing that. We're still there. But you have to, the whole thing is just starting. The whole thing is just starting. Just start it. If you want to do it, whatever it is, painting, drawing, architecture, podcasting, making music, whatever the fuck that thing is that you want to do that gets you going, just start. Don't let, oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Just start with the tools that you have in front of you, whatever they are. And then the rest will come. I promise. Like trust me. Like it is, you just got to start. You just got to start it. And that's kind of, I don't know how 170 something episodes in, and I put out this Dark Reflections that I feel clunky about. And so I just wanted to be like, yeah, like I just wanted to put it out there that like, yeah, that's part of it. Like that's part of the game. That's growth. That's what we are doing here. Like we're still learning and doing this. So don't get discouraged, and don't let your own head stop you from doing things and putting things out, because you're going to be your own worst enemy, guaranteed. You just gotta smoke some weed or something, because that's what gives you the fuck it button. You just gotta say
fuck it button.
Press the fuck it button. You just gotta say fuck it. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, and then do it. Fuck it, do it. Just fucking fuck it and do it. Like that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. So you want to, for the first 50 episodes of this podcast, I was sitting there getting ready to post them, going, oh my God, I don't know if I want to post fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. And then I press the button. I just press the button and go. Yeah. Like it's done. It's out there now. There's nothing I can do. So you just gotta say fuck it. Like that's what I did for like the first 50 episodes. Like I'm not 50 to 100. Like I'm not even, and it sometimes still happens. It sometimes still happens to this day. So yeah, it's just, you just gotta say fuck it. Just gotta say fuck it. Do it. Start and don't start. Say fuck it, start, and don't stop. That's it.
It's the secret.
That's it. That's all it takes. DIY till you die. That too.
Well, I'd always say, like, just to me, the one thing that always stops me a lot of times is like, like sometimes you look at and like even if there's like a few things, you're like, you always think that you can do better. And like there's always that like, but like at a certain point, and one of the things that I like am feeling like I'm kind of coming out of a little bit and kind of giving myself a little more freedom with, is just being able to like post things and just being like, let's take what I learned off of what I did this time and apply it to whatever I do from here on out. You know what I mean? Like yes. Sometimes you got, because then like, especially like looking back at things and looking back at like different episodes and stuff that we've done even, and being like, maybe we could change it up a little bit. And that's kind of why like we've been like, I feel like this year and kind of towards the end of last year, like you saw us doing a bit more like sketchy kind of, not like weird shit, but like, well, yeah, it was weird, but like, just like different kind of stuff, and just being like,
we're having fun.
I don't know. Yeah. Like whatever. Like
we said, fuck it.
Yeah. so yeah, like,
fuck it, had fun. Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, you just gotta, you're never going to get better at it until you start and don't stop. So just like do that. I know I'm sitting here. We don't have that many subscribers, but I love all of you. We don't have that many followers, but I love all of you. But like, we're small. We're very small. And, but we are also very committed, and we love doing this. So it's yeah. And in the time that we have been doing it, even though we don't even have that many episodes, we've gotten a lot better, man. We've like that. Go back and listen to the first episode. I dare you. It's dog shit. It's dog shit. Like it's so bad. But now like they are. The whole thing with me when I started this was like, I want to create something that somebody like me would want to listen to, and we've done that. Because I do like listening to some of these, especially the newer episodes that were on video and everything. I will go back and watch them because it's just fun to relive that stuff. I hate like watching myself, but the ones I usually watch are with like you and another band, and I just like watching them. And in fairness, you know, after about 30 minutes in, you kind of forget you're watching yourself because you kind of like forgot a lot of the shit you said. So it's kind of like watching a different person. You know, it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of bring up that Nervosa thing to kind of, I don't know. It was just something I've been thinking about. So I just kind of wanted to like, hey, like I felt it was like I felt clunky and a little off about it, but I was like, maybe I can spin this into something inspirational. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up. But
well, that's like, you know, it's anytime, and I can fucking for sure relate to that, because like it's any time that you try to write anything new. It's any time that, like, you know, because I know that we've, you know, we've spent a lot of time with, you know, doing episodes and stuff, and like, you know, there's ones that are really good, and then there's others that are like, you know, that was fun, but it wasn't per se like the best. Like, you know, it was just kind of like, in a lot of times, like, and it's very much the same thing with, like, you know, like when you're writing something, or like and that's kind of a lot of times like what keeps me from, like, which I'm really gonna try to work on, is like, you know, just allowing it to just be what it is, and just kind of like, you know, like okay, like that was, you know,
doesn't have to be perfect.
yeah, like not everything that you do is gonna be the shit. Not like it's gonna be a lot of things where, you know, and that's a hard realization to have a lot of times.
And it's not only that, but you also like, it's almost like you got to do some of the shitty shit to get to the good shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's that's kind of like really kind of,
you got to
like,
fuck up to make something right.
Well, we were talking about the video I posted earlier. Like that was just kind of from sitting down and just like just going and just being like, whatever happens happens. And like, you know, there's a few things I would change, but overall I'm like, if the majority of it makes me feel really good about it, and if the majority of it is like, this is sick, then it's like, what's
It's all that matters. It's all that matters. Dude, you don't make art. I like, it's I don't know, but I don't feel like artists make art to make with the intention of making other people happy. I feel like artists make art with the intention of letting out their emotions and to make themselves feel better. And then if it connects to other people, then it's transcendent and it's amazing. But like, at the end of the day, the intention was not that. And the interpretation, you know, everybody has different interpretations of things. So it's, you know, it's yeah, man. Like, if it makes you feel good, fucking put it out. Like, do it for yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Fuck it. Hit that fuck it button.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
That's
and
what's
like,
up.
That's been like probably the biggest thing that I've taken from doing this over the last like year or 2 years or whatever the fuck it's been. Like,
I think we're either coming up on 2 or 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like, there, you know, even maybe not so much anymore, just because I feel like, you know, like the last, you know, I think that we ended up on having really kind of hitting a bit of a stride towards the end of the year with, like, you know, with all the bands we were talking to, and with everything that we were, you know, with like, really, it was from like just before the Halloween episode, like, and then that happened, and it was like, all right, well, let's do a couple other things, and let's try, you know, like, I feel like that, like, to me, it's kind of like seeing that and being like, all right, well, now that we've done that, like, what else can we do that has that same kind of spirit, like that same kind of vibe to it and stuff. So I feel like there's always, especially for this, I mean, fuck, this is like the Wild West right now. Like, we could really, you know, like, there's a lot of things that, like, you know, that I just feel like would fit super well with what we've been trying to put together, and with, you know, and whether it be like the sketch kind of stuff, or like the album review type stuff, or like just making it more about music or whatever. Like, it just, you know,
we can go anywhere with it.
Yeah, but we didn't end up that way until we were just like tried to get a couple guests on, and then the whole video thing, and then so yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I do have I actually got a couple more pieces of news, but I do have one thing I want to ask you about. Because I know that you'll be into it. Have you been watching WandaVision?
I saw the first episode of it when it aired, or like when it was like a new thing.
Am I blurry to you? Am I
Uh,
I can't tell.
maybe a
blur?
little bit, but not really. Like,
There we go.
well, hey, real quick, you want to pause this and come back to it for a second?
Oh no, well, you gotta take a break?
Yeah.
Go for it. I'll just keep talking for a second.
All right.
Go ahead. But yeah, when he gets back, keep in mind, people, we are recording this the same day that episode 5 of WandaVision dropped. And if you've seen it, you know what happens. So get ready for spoilers. This is your formal spoiler warning right now. Because I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of it for Aaron if he lets me. And my God, like, what does it mean? What does it all mean? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm very excited. But we'll get into it. Here, I'll real quick, a couple pieces of two pieces of quick news, I guess, that I have for you. Our fucking brothers. I want to say, I can't remember if it's North or South. I think it's North Carolina. Our North Carolina brothers, Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, that sounds right. Our fucking brothers in WAR, WOR. They've been on the show twice technically, but one episode got lost. So really only once that you guys have seen. Back in October, early November, I want to say they were on that episode. So go check that out. They are fucking incredible, and they had an amazing album come out last year that we did a Dark Reflections for. It was on our Filthy 15 episode called Prisoners. So definitely check that album out. But they are currently in the studio working on a new album, just like Convalescence. They actually earlier today posted lead vocalist Bobby do pictures of him doing vocal tracks, tracking the vocals. So very, very, very excited, because that honestly, like, I got really addicted to that album, Prisoners. I really fucking loved what they did, and I'm beyond excited to hear the next album. Like, that is to hear any new music, honestly, from them, because that was their first album, was Prisoners. And I tell you what, these guys are gonna fucking pop off, because they are fucking amazing. Absolutely. The other little piece of news I have is in terms of like new albums coming soon, is on. So a couple years ago, we had Jamie Jasta, lead singer of Hatebreed, produce the new Dee Snider record, For the Love of Metal. He wrote and produced it, and they are currently working on For the Love of Metal Part 2. As a matter of fact, Dee has been tracking vocals for, I believe, like the last 2 weeks right now, if you follow him on social media, Dee Snider. And he put a video on Facebook a few days ago saying that he anticipates the album being done and out by early summer. and apparently it's got a lot of great guest spots, and that's another one that I'm really, really, really looking forward to, because For the Love of Metal, the first one was, I mean, we did a Dark Reflections for it. We actually did a crazy Dark Reflections for it where we like drove around and listened to it in the car. So the whole Dark Reflections is in the car. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, like it was great fucking album. Absolutely floored me. I still go back to it to this day. I love that album. And I cannot fucking wait to hear what they do next. I'm beyond excited. He does it with the Belmore brothers, Jamie Jasta, and he sometimes tours with the Belmore brothers, but other people too. And did release a live version of the album on CD and DVD. So definitely check that out. But
God?
No, D. Snyder.
Oh,
for the Love of Metal. He is for the last 2 weeks, he's been doing the vocal tracking for part 2.
Dude, that's gonna be so sick.
And according to a video he posted on Facebook, he anticipates the album being out in early summer. So, so we got a new, I think it'll be called For the Love of Metal Part 2 coming out early summer, produced by Jasta, featuring the Belmore brothers, and I'm sure it's gonna have a lot of other guest features. The Belmore brothers are not guests, but I'm sure it's going to have a lot of guest features on it.
Yeah.
He said as much. And I also, while you were gone, I also mentioned the fact that War is also in the studio right now.
Yeah, dude. I've been seeing their posts.
Yeah. Very, very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, they got a new drummer and stuff.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not sure what the name is and stuff. I think
I just been seeing Ben and Bobby.
Mostly those two.
Yeah. So
man. Like, I'm
shout out.
Like, let's go. Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, Prisoners was one of my favorite albums of last year. I got addicted to that album at one point.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But now that you're back, so you've seen one episode of WandaVision.
Yeah. And it is my understanding that I need to keep going. Because apparently it gets wild ass, but
well, it didn't get wild ass until today, episode 5.
Yeah.
And
admittedly, like when I first started watching it, I was like, I don't know where this, like, what this is, like, where this is going. Like, I guess
they give you nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. For the first 3 episodes. For the first 3 episodes, you're just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
Episode 4 starts at the very end to give you something. Or no. Actually, at the very end of episode 3 starts to give you something. Episode 4. So I see, okay, I'm starting to figure out. And episode 5 just okay, so considering the season isn't done yet, and it's probably going to get spoiled for you anyway on the internet, can I spoil it for you? Just because, again, it's not done yet. So we don't even know where this goes or what any of it means.
Right.
But something did happen in episode 5 that I know you're going to fucking love. That's going to blow your mind. And I know that before you get to it, it's going to get spoiled for you on the internet anyway.
Well, like, so what, like, I guess before you do that, like, give me a little bit, like, better of an idea of, like, what this is supposed to be. Because, like, I have no idea as far as, like, because, like, as I was watching it, I was like, is this, like, a part? Because I know those, like, the 2 characters and, like, the 2
of course.
You know, like, I know as far as, like, the MCU goes, like, who they are, but as far as, like, where this, like, what this even has any real attachment to, like, I'm and maybe that isn't even, like, maybe that's the whole question, in a lot of ways. Like, I just, like, I don't know, like, you know, obviously it's gonna take going past the first episode to get it, but, like, I was like, I don't,
Yeah,
I don't know where this is supposed to go. Like
the first episode alone, I was like, what?
it's
Like,
yeah.
what is
It
this?
didn't really
But
it didn't really grab me the way I thought it was going to.
No, same. Especially when you consider I've been, how much I love the Mandalorian series. I expected this one to grab me the same way, and it didn't.
And even all of like the promotion stuff, mid to early last year, like I was like, this it looks kind of cool. Like it could be something interesting.
Oh,
like
I would say that 80 to 90% of the commercials I've seen for it, I haven't even seen in an episode yet. So there's a lot more coming, that I don't even know. And that you're kind of right. That the question you asked is kind of one of the questions of the series, because I still don't nobody still totally understands exactly what's happening. But what we do know is that this takes place just like a few weeks or something, like a few weeks or a month or so after what they refer to in the movies as the blip, which is really when Hulk snapped everybody back. So this is just occurring a few weeks after that Endgame. But we know from Infinity War, we watched Thanos rip that stone out of Vision's head and he died. So he didn't get snapped. So Hulk couldn't snap him back. So he is dead. So and then they're doing like, so every episode, they started in like the 50s or the 60s. And then every episode is a new decade kind of ode to sitcom. So the first one was like the 50s or 60s. The next one will be the 70s. The next one will be the 80s. If they keep going, like through each episode is a new set and a new reference to sitcom.
Yeah.
However, in episode 4, that's at the end of episode 4 and end of episode 3 and most of episode 4, we finally leave the sitcom world and start getting a grasp on what's really going on. And it appears that this could be totally wrong, but as of right now, it appears that Wanda is doing this, and she's got all these people in this town like trapped in some way in this like fantasy alternate reality. And and we do know for a fact that it's got like a bubble. There's a little physical bubble over it that you cross through to get to it, and so a lot of people have the theory that it's Wanda not being able to handle the death of Vision because they were in love, and so she's creating this alternate reality to be with him. Now, and keep in mind, Wanda is two things about Wanda. She's a very tortured character. The first movie, besides the after credit scene, the first movie we saw her in was Age of Ultron, where her brother Quicksilver died. And he was played by the guy that plays Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
And like just through her whole like, and then in Age of Ultron, she gets, and like in the next movies, she ends up getting blamed for killing all those people in Sokovia and like all this shit. So she's just a super, and then Vision gets killed in front of her. So she's just this very tortured character. 1 and 2, we've only seen this once in the movies so far, but in the comics we know She is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe. We know this. We saw it in the movies because she was that close. She was the only one. She was the only Avenger to come this close to killing Thanos herself without any help.
Yeah.
The only reason she didn't is because he said, "Rain hellfire." And like his ship started blasting right before Captain Marvel came through and destroyed his ship.
Yeah.
Like she was about to kill him.
Mm.
And that's why he rained hellfire.
I don't even know who you are.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing that they didn't show in the movies, in the Marvel movies, because at that point in time, the Marvel movies didn't have the rights, was the fact that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are the twin son and daughters of Magneto. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not.
But she is Magneto's daughter.
Wow.
She is Magneto's daughter. Now, at the time they introduced those characters, and the guy that played Kick-Ass, can't remember his name, played Quicksilver, her brother, and died in Age of Ultron. At that point in time, they had no rights to the X-Men because that was owned by Fox. Well, since then, Disney bought Fox.
Yeah.
So now they have the rights.
So the idea is basically that like this is kind of the thing that's gonna like cross the two over in a way. Like this is kind of like the starting point with it. No, you cannot, because not only has this like opened you up to being like, all right, keep going, because there's some shit that you need to see. Like as like a genuine fan of the CMU or rather of the MCU. Yeah. And just being like just kind of invested in the story of it, like that by itself is like, okay, like
something happens in episode 5 where you will scream.
I know that
okay.
I know that there's somebody shows up.
I know, because I know it's gonna get ruined for you, because everybody's gonna post about it online. I know, like, unless you watch this shit tonight, this shit will get ruined for you, I promise. But there is god damn it, I can't tell you that without ruining it. There's another element, because there's something in the X-Men movies I can't I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to like do it without ruining it.
I will say this, like having these conversations and then like seeing like just because the Mike and Alex have been talking about it quite a bit too. And
oh my god, we should have them back on.
Yeah. And that to me is like kind of like with like hearing this and then like kind of what they've been saying, like because like initially, you know, going back to my response to it, like when I started it, I was like I could see where this could go, but at the same time, like it you know, like I feel like I need to like just to kind of like see myself, I guess.
I cannot believe, because I watched it last night, I cannot believe that it is, I guess, yeah, I could. It is going to end up being a universe changer for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like the way you watch the first 3 episodes, you're like, what the fuck is this? It is going to end up being one of the most important story things that Marvel has ever done. Like, it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything without question. Like, after what happened, it's going to change everything.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first like major thing that's come out since Endgame.
The only movie that came out since Endgame was Spider-Man Homecoming 2. Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
with Mysterio. And
well, didn't no, that's DC. Never mind.
that took place like almost like immediately after Endgame.
Yeah.
And then this takes place a couple of months after Endgame. We were, and for the record, although it's a movie obviously set in the past because she's dead, but the Black Widow movie was supposed to be out already. And I think Thor Love and Thunder was supposed to be out last November as well. I think. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to have more by now, but WandaVision is the first Marvel thing we've had since 2019. And
I thought for sure that the Black Widow movie was going to come out. I mean, obviously things being how they were, like I just remember seeing little like that was going to be something that came out. But I guess like then there was the other thing that said like there's not going to be an actual like Avengers movie until like I don't know. I could be misspeaking on that.
Well, I don't think there should be another Avengers movie until 2025 or 6 because the first storyline of the Avengers is done. It's over. It ended in Endgame.
Yeah.
So now we got to build a whole new thing, and that's going to take a few years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me, but it also makes sense to me to get a lot more ambitious in your solo movies like they are with Spider-Man. You know, see, that's the thing. That's the thing is like we already know with the next Spider-Man movie that they're bringing in Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and it was announced today. Willem Dafoe, swear to God, coming back as Green Goblin.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Swear to God, got announced today. And fuck it, they're bringing in all these. So they're clearly crossing universes. We already know this, but it's like, how do we get there? WandaVision is how we're gonna get, as I guarantee by the next. That's the other thing. It's supposedly only 9 episodes. There's a rumor. There was a leak that said that there's actually a 10th episode, a secret 10th episode. So we're 5 episodes in right now. In between now and the next 5 weeks, the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe might get flipped on its head, and we could have everything. And so there's that, and there's also the rumor that Wanda is actually going to end up being the big bad guy in Doctor Strange 2, which is titled Multiverse of Madness. And it's also rumored that Doctor Strange will make an appearance at the end of WandaVision to lead into that film.
Okay.
So
I'm sold at this point.
So like that's where we're at. And something happened on episode 5. It was like 4:30 in the morning last night, and Josh and I were watching this, and he was like, dude, be quiet. Like I was screaming. Like I was shaking, like the same in a very not in an as awesome as a fashion, but I was wait. Oh, have you watched Mandalorian?
That is one that I've also I think I'm like,
okay, well, do you know what happens at the end of the last season?
No.
Like, did you see? Oh, fuck. So, God damn it. I can't even say what it compares to.
I'm sorry.
So for everybody that's seen the last episode of The Mandalorian, it compares not in as awesome as a sense. It's not as amazing as a scene, because one of the last scenes of The Mandalorian is one of the greatest scenes ever in Star Wars history. Okay. The end of the WandaVision episode 5 is not one of the greatest scenes in Marvel history. But it might end up being that in the long run, honestly. But it is sort of comparable. when you grasp the situation. Like it's, God damn it, watch it. Fuck, dude. I gotta fucking talk to you about this. This is why I need Mike and Alex on right now. I gotta talk to, because the only person I have to talk about it right now, the only other person I know that is caught up as me is Josh. And Josh doesn't understand it the way, you know what I mean? He loves it. He loves it. Don't get me wrong. He does get it.
Yeah.
But he's not as excited about it as I am. So I need to talk to somebody about it that's excited as me. Holy shit, dude. Ah, dude, it's shink.
And,
All
like,
right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I will like
That
and-
doesn't
and
give
I'll-
away anything.
I'll say that like because I think I've watched at least like half the first season of Mandalorian, and I'll say that like that show is it's awesome. Like
Beautiful.
it's probably one of my
so
favorite
gorgeous.
like Star Wars things that they've done, and like I mean I don't know, aside from like the last like couple movies or whatever, because yeah, like,
Honestly, the last 2 movies I did not. I liked them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hater.
yeah, they're all right.
I did think they were good, but I did also have a lot of problems with them.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, honestly, like, and I might get hate for this, probably not because nobody watches this, but I might get hate for this. But in my opinion, Rogue One and The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are arguably like outside of A New Hope when it first came out, arguably the 2 best Star Wars anything ever done. Because the amazing thing about Rogue One was that the original trilogy, look, as amazing and groundbreaking and beautiful as the original trilogy is, it had its problems, right? It had its problems. Why the fuck do you build this giant Death Star with this little asshole weakness? Like, you gave it an asshole, gave it a butthole that you could shoot your load into and blow it up.
Yeah, I always found that to be weird.
So that's a major plot hole. Rogue One, the movie Rogue One, literally fixed that plot hole. It literally, that's what Rogue One acted as a fixer, but for a lot of the elements of the story, problems with the story with the original trilogy, but they did it in such an amazing and beautiful and artistic way to keep you engaged and it's just a standalone thing. And it was so wonderful. Like, that's what I love about that movie, is that it acts as this thing that literally actually made the original trilogy even better. Like, it worked for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I've never seen that done before, and I thought that was amazing and beautiful.
Yeah.
And then
it was kind of cool because it was one of those I remember seeing that in theaters, and there's a certain point where you realize that none of these people are gonna make it. But it's the realization of why, and when it actually ends and stuff, it's okay, that was cool.
And then at the end, they give us the single at the moment, the single greatest Darth Vader scene ever in the history of Star Wars.
Dude, yeah. That was brutal.
End it on that?
Yeah.
On that? And I say for now, for a good reason. Because here in about a month or so, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series starts filming, and apparently it was reported today that Obi and Vader, or let me rephrase that, Obi and Anakin will have a rematch. because their last match was at the final scene of Revenge of the Sith, of course, the final battle of Revenge of the Sith. And apparently they will have, but personally, like, okay, that does make me very excited, especially what I saw with they did with Vader in at the end of Rogue One. But what makes me even more excited is the potential of a Darth Maul rematch, because they brought him back at the end of the Solo film, as they did in the Rebels cartoons with robot legs.
Yeah.
So
I actually forgot that the Solo movie happened.
Yeah, you should check that.
Yeah.
I have problems with it, but it was good. It was good. I have a couple personal issues with it, but it's probably just me, but it was good. Yeah.
Wasn't that the one that who played wasn't Donald Glover in that? Danny Glover? Childish Gambino? Wasn't he like one of the didn't he play somebody?
I think look it up. I want to say he played a young Lando.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. I think that's I only saw that movie in theaters. I haven't ever rewatched it, so it's been a few years since I've seen it, but I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. And that's God, if that is it.
Yeah.
Perfect casting. Fucking perfect casting. Amazing casting.
Yeah.
Danny Glover's outstanding. I love everything he does.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like his acting stuff. He's in like Community. His Childish Gambino. Like
I love all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
I don't know. Woody Harrelson was in that as well.
Yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Shit. Kind of a good segue with Woody Harrelson right there. I don't even have this written down, but guess what drops in just over 48 hours? Super Bowl trailer. Venom, There Will Be Carnage. Venom 2
is it?
drops and Woody Harrelson plays Carnage.
Damn. Yo, I didn't know that.
Yes, you did. Did you see Venom?
Yeah.
The end credit scene of Venom is Tom Hardy.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. I only saw it once, but yeah, I do remember seeing that.
There Will Be Carnage. Trailer 1 drops during the Super Bowl, brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like
that's sick.
If you might be here for that. So if that's the case, you and I might have to do a reaction video together, because that I'm gonna lose my shit for that.
I need to Venom. That's a movie that I only saw.
Venom.
Yeah. That's a movie that I only saw once, but like
You gotta watch that again. You gotta watch that again. I've watched that. The more I watch that movie, the more I like it. Honestly, I love that movie.
I feel like I need to, because like I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Hardy. That's
what?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like just like the kind of like gumpy acting that was like in between him actually being Venom and like and I know that he was Bane.
Darkness is your ally.
And that was awesome. I liked him in that. Like,
come on. Like, he's like the best superhero bad guy ever.
He is a good villain. I will say that.
He's got the dude. Like, no, he is. I love Tom Hardy. I think he's phenomenal. He did that weird movie where he played twins and he was both roles. I even liked that movie. Like, I don't remember what it's called, but I liked it. And I really like when I was like, oh my God, Bane is playing Venom. I was like, so because that's my thing. Like, because that's the other part of it too. Is like my problem with the Jared Leto Joker was the tattoos, but my problem with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker was that he just put on a costume. Like, he didn't change his voice at all. You know what I mean? Like, but Tom Hardy, Ah, yes. You think the darkness is your ally. And he also not just was the voice of Eddie Brock, but was the voice of Venom in that movie.
That was, yeah. That
You know what I
was
mean?
cool.
Like
Yeah.
that. So
And I guess,
we can do whatever we want. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Man,
Like,
yeah, I should rewatch
so
that.
he gives it. He plays that other side where he gives it the extra thing, and that's what I love. That's what I love about what he does. That's one of the things I love about what he does. Honestly,
I don't know if I knew that he did the other voice
for Venom.
Actual, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
Like, yeah, that's Tom Hardy. Yeah. He did the voice for Venom as well. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love about the what, you know, just what he does. Like he goes into it like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even gonna say it's like, because Joaquin Phoenix is definitely a method actor. So I'm not even talking about like method acting here, but like, just I just like Tom Hardy's take on a lot of things. But yeah, so I'm super excited for that trailer. Like that, because for the record, that was originally supposed to come out last October. So that was already supposed to be out, much like, you know, and that's the other thing. That's something you were talking about earlier, is how HBO is killing it right now with all these Warner Brothers movies, because I think Warner Brothers owns HBO. And that's why, you know, all these movies are coming out on HBO. Your Suicide Squad, your Godzilla vs. Kong, which we will talk about, with Matrix, the new Conjuring, you know, like all these fucking movies are coming out on HBO, and they're fucking destroying it right now, in my opinion, in compared to Marvel and Disney. Because you're just sitting on Black Widow. You're just sitting on it. Like, it's done. It's done. We've seen like 2 or 3 trailers. It's done. It was supposed to be out already. Why are you sitting on it? Here's my theory. People high up at Disney and Marvel got wind that Warner Brothers was going to do this and announce it around this time. And here in about, because we got WandaVision going right now, and WandaVision is going to end right about when the Falcon Winter Soldier show starts.
Oh yeah. Should be pretty good.
And then if I were to guess, right after that, so probably I don't know, like late May, early June, Disney and Marvel is just going to be like, here's my fat dick on the table.
Yeah.
Here's our announcement schedule. It's starting this month, and it's not going to stop for a lot of months. Like, I honestly think they're just, because this is what, if you've been paying attention for this entire time, like since Iron Man 1, that's kind of what they do. Every time somebody else announces something big, like Warner Bros. and HBO just announced all these amazing movies coming out on their platform, and everybody's super excited because nobody's been to a movie in a fucking year. They like, okay, yeah, go ahead, have your moment. Here's our giant dick. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of what they do. So I'm anticipating a giant announcement from Marvel very soon.
Like
within a couple months at least. Yeah. Maybe even not till the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So maybe late May, early June, if that's when it ends. I don't know. But I
wouldn't be surprised if they were even like doing some filming for stuff that isn't even announced or to like talk about yet right now.
Oh, 100%
secret stuff, you know.
100%. 100%. Not only that, they're filming stuff that has been announced, that's setting up stuff that hasn't been announced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, 100%.
to be a part of the writing process for that, just and like, man, like you like realistically, they could like, you know, there's so many different like perspectives and different things that they could do at this point to kind of like, you know, send it off and like really like welcome in like the next step of like the you know, the big like.
And we're gonna have it's I mean, it's literally right now, sitting here talking to you right now, February 5th, 2021. I physically cannot, in my head, in my own imagination, even imagine a movie bigger or more epic or a better payoff than the last 10 minutes of Avengers Endgame. 10, 20, 30 minutes or whatever of Avengers Endgame. Cannot physically imagine. On your left, like that alone gives me goosebumps. Like that, like I cannot physically imagine something better than that. Having said that, we might get it. We might get something better because now they have the rights to introduce the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Deadpool, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all the Netflix. Oh, that was another one. Charlie Cox, Daredevil from the Netflix series is in Spider-Man 3.
Damn.
So it's official.
That's pretty big. Yeah.
Oh, it's so big for me, because to me, those are some of the best. So the like Endgame in Infinity War, obviously best thing ever, but the season 1, 2, 3 of Daredevil and Punisher are like the best things Marvel's ever done to me. So like it, I'm so happy about that. Like that.
I want to see like a whole new like Daredevil movie based off of what's happened. Like
we will.
That's
one of because that's the other thing is that Marvel, if you notice, per character does 3 movies, right?
So
this is Spider-Man 3. Right. So this could be the springboard to Daredevil 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
You know, we need new
Makes
characters to make trilogies off of. You know, Iron Man didn't even get a 4th movie. So yeah, like it is it's you know, after an age of pandemic, man, the fact that we have all this to be excited about, all this Marvel stuff, all this metal stuff, like that's another announcement that happened today. Fucking Daniel motherfucking Freiberg of Bodum After Midnight. Come on. Next week, we're having a Bodum After Midnight announcement. I mean, Alexi is something I wanted to go into just for the fuck of it, because I kind of think he should be mentioned on every episode of this podcast forever. But Daniel Freiberg, guitarist of Children of Bodom at the end, and now Bodom After Midnight, said today, because yesterday was his birthday, and he said, thank you everyone for the happy birthday wishes. Bodom After Midnight news coming next week, which is this week that you all are seeing this. So maybe it's out already. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, like that. Live for this. Live for this. Like this is what I'm living for right now. So God damn it, dude. Holy shit. Like, and then Carrie King had that article today about calling Alexi a metal god or a guitar god. And as of today, I'm actually, as soon as we get off here, because I don't touch my phone during podcasts, but as soon as we get off here, unless I'm looking something up. But as soon as we get off here, I am going to order a copy of Metal Hammer February that came out today, which was a tribute. Alexi's on the cover. It was a tribute to Alexi. I'm ordering a copy of that magazine at the second we get off here. So
they had a tribute.
Yep. Metal Hammer. This February edition 2021 is a tribute to Alexi. And it was released actually. I did find out that he passed away on December 29th, 2020. Yeah, I did actually find out through being the boat. If you're a fan, join the Bodum After Midnight fan group. It used to be the Hate Crew, but when Children of Bodum disbanded and Bodum After Midnight was invented, they changed the name of the Facebook group. And there was they posted a picture like late last night, early today of his funeral and the casket.
Oh yeah.
And they did.
I saw a few of those posts.
Yeah. And in that post, it did say that he passed away, I believe, on December 29th or 30th. I think it's 29th. I think it was 29th. And yeah, man, like that fucking, because I said on the, as soon as I read that, I remembered one part of the Alexi tribute episode that we did where I was like, I would just really like to know, like, you know, what day it was. Like, did he get to celebrate New Year's Eve? And he didn't.
Yeah. Well, and with the timing of it and stuff, like I'm not surprised they held out until like the, you know.
No, I totally. Oh no, I fucking yeah. I feel fortunate to have found out when I did. Like I'm totally like respectful. Like I don't I'm happy and respectful of the fact that they are releasing information as they are. Like I you know what I mean? Like I've no like I want to give them all the time that they need, because like look, like I'm feeling it too, so I get it. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm happy that I now know the official date, and I would love to find out the official cause, but it's also like I'll find out when I find out. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really matter. What matters is that he's gone, and we need to, now is the time for us as fans, to grieve and to carry on his legacy. So it's up to us. It's up to us as metalheads and his fans to never, ever, fucking ever let his name die. Ever. Or his music, or the videos on YouTube, anything. Like, it is up to us to show this to everyone we know, show this to our children, make our children fall in love with it so they carry it on. It is up to us to never let him die in that way. So,
Oh, man, I've been like one of the ones that's really like, excuse me, sorry, much beer. One of the albums I've gone back to quite a bit, like within the last week, is or within really since it happened, is the big Stockholm Throwdown.
Me too.
Live DVD, man.
Me too.
That is some of their best like live, and like that the big guitar solo that he does in the middle.
Yep. You saw I got that T-shirt this week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
Yep. I'm actually I'm actually planning on ordering another one and cutting the sleeves off, just like his tank top in that video, that very same live performance.
where are you finding all this stuff at? Because I'm trying to find like backlogs because it's
multiple places. Their backstreetmerch.com is, I think, one of, if not the only one that's like officially has the best selection of officially licensed Children of Bodom merch. There also Bodom After Midnight. If you go to their Instagram and click on the link up top, I think that takes you to there's a website that has that merch on it. And I think indie merch has a little bit, at least a couple things. And I think childrenofbodom.com still exists. So I think there's a couple things on there, but there's a couple other things like the Stockholm t-shirt. I actually found that on eBay. I've been trying my best. Like 99% of the Bodom stuff I've bought in the last 2 month has been, and you know, most of it, I've bought a lot.
Yeah, you found some pretty,
I mean,
really cool stuff.
Come on, right here. So but 99% of it has come from like from officially licensed places. But there are a couple things like the Stockholm shirt that I had to find on eBay and stuff. So most of it is direct from them. But yeah. I just started
a lot of the like the original Bodom stuff and a lot of the like the you know, the stuff from their store, because like I did look on their store for some stuff and it's like they don't really have a whole lot. So like,
yeah, same as indie merch. So check out backstreetmerch.com. They have the best selection that I've found, at least. Backstreetmerch.com. I've ordered from them many times, and they are actually they're across the ocean somewhere, like Finland or something. They're so you got to like make sure everything's adjusted to US prices and stuff. But yeah, like but their orders get here extremely fast. They're phenomenal. Wonderful customer service. Like everything I've ever ordered from them. Yes. Just search Children of Bodom on that site. And you'll find a pretty good selection of t-shirts, hoodies, CDs, wristbands, all that stuff. And like it's his book is on there. Make sure you order the one in English though, because they have one in Finnish and a couple other languages. But yeah, like it's that's a really great site. And then check out the Bodom After Midnight Instagram for some Bodom After Midnight gear, t-shirts, wristbands, you know. And then, you know, next week we're gonna have a Bodom After Midnight announcement, so hopefully there's even more at that point. Face masks, they have Children of Bodom face masks if you want that kind of stuff. Yeah, so awesome. Like
shit. Yeah.
Whole bunch of shit. Like god damn it, I'm fuzzy as fuck now.
That's what I was saying. Like that, I had at one time or another, I feel like I had at least like I had the like I think I bought like a hoodie from one of their shows, which didn't end up fitting me, so I think I got rid of it. And then I think I had like another like 2 t-shirts that I just kind of like they're just like I wore until like they just were kind of nothing. So
dude, after he passed, I went through some boxes and brought some t-shirts out of retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and
I gotta get re-up a little bit.
Fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. God damn it. But yeah, like I don't know. Like, yeah. Like it's damn it. I had something. Damn it. Something else about Alexi and Bodom.
Talking about merch stuff.
Fuck, I can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, check out all those sites if you want anything children about them. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. The fact that like for the you get on it soon, and even if it's not in stock and you got to pre-order it because ever since he passed, everything is sold out. You can't find his book. You can hardly find t-shirts and hoodies. You can hardly find his guitar, like his signature guitars. And so there was a handful of stuff that I did like was out of stock and I pre-ordered anyway. But it still got here pretty fucking fast. And I've not seen, and maybe I just haven't looked. Maybe it's just my perspective, but I've never seen shit sell out like this for someone who passed. And I'm sure it has, you know what I mean? But I've just never seen it firsthand. And like, it kind of blew my mind how, and it made me happy. Like, it was like, holy shit, like this many other people love what I love. You know what I mean? Like it, in that sense, it made me happy in that sense. Like a little bit of encouragement. Like, oh my God, like a lot of people are always going to remember him. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how it made me feel. So
Yeah.
a lot of his shit, a lot of Bodum shit is sold out right now, but trust me, pre-order it, especially from backstreetmerch.com. It comes in very fast, very high quality. The only weird thing I'll say is if you order a zip up hoodie, the zipper is on the wrong side. That's the only weird thing. That's the only weird thing. I've ordered two.
Oh.
It's the only weird thing. But everything else fits perfect, very high quality, just absolutely wonderful. Nothing but good experience ordering from them. And Bodum After Midnight. So
I wonder if it's like a European thing where like
it is. It might be
on the other side.
They are, the company is somewhere in Europe, maybe even Finland. So yeah, that is definitely yeah. I don't know if that's a thing over there, but yeah, that is what I chalk it up to too. That's funny actually. But all right, man. I mean, I got two things left here, but one of them honestly is probably more of a full episode. The albums we missed.
Oh shit.
But that's more of a, we can't get into that. We've already been doing this for a few hours.
I mean, I got a few that I could like bring up already, but
I got a couple too. So we'll do that next time.
All right.
But last thing I wanted to talk to you about, man, and I know we watched it together the other night, but Godzilla!
Oh, fuck yeah.
Godzilla vs. Kong trailer 1 dropped. And I know we watched it the other night, but I didn't like just point blank ask you, what the fuck did you think of that? Like,
I know
you're not as into it as I am. I don't know if you grew up with it the way I at all or not, the way I did. But how'd you feel about that?
I like, for context, I guess, like I really started paying attention to like Godzilla, like monster movies around the time when the bad one was out, which was the 2000 with
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Which
to me, I was like,
everybody, I like that movie.
Right? Yeah. Everyone. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that was
like, I grew up with Godzilla, and as a 10-year-old child, I was in love with Godzilla, and that was the first time a Godzilla movie got released in United States theaters. So I was like, yeah, like I loved that shit. Fuck everyone. Yeah, he didn't breathe fire. Yeah, he looks fucked up or whatever. Not whatever. Fuck you. I still like that movie.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was cool. And so that was kind of like my first, and then like it wasn't really, because like I don't know, like monster, like the whole genre of like monster movies to me is like there's like two eras of it. There's like the original like Japanese style of like old school like puppets, like animation kind of stuff,
Not
or
even puppets,
there's
people in costumes.
or the costumes and stuff, which yeah, like
I like that. I like that. Actually like that.
yeah, it's for I feel like it's for a certain audience, but for me, like, it wasn't really until like, the King of Monsters movie,
The most recent one.
not so much well, it was like
Oh,
whatever the first Godzilla movie was that was of the new ones.
that was just called Godzilla.
That was, yeah, okay, so yeah, it was that one, and then the last one, and then after that, like I fucking love Skull Island. I thought that movie
Skull
was
Island. It was Godzilla 1, Skull
Mhm.
Island, and then Godzilla King of Monsters, and then
And
Godzilla vs Kong was the fourth one.
that's right, yeah. I guess I thought that the second one was what the first one was called. But yeah, and then like, man, like they've been, whoever's making these, whoever's like writing, like it's just been on a tear with it lately, because it is like at a time when we don't have like any real like major Marvel movies, at a time when like, when like there's no yeah, like, action movies, and like, like the Fast and the Furious series is its own thing, and like I feel like that's gonna go on forever at this point. um but yeah, like at a time when there's a lot of different stuff going on, like really really excited, and like it's like the quality of these movies, and how
Yes,
much that I'm surprised that I like them when we walk out of the theater. Like
that's
like I didn't think that I would like Skull Island the way that I do, but that movie is so fucking good.
well. The story
And
was
like,
so impressive.
yeah.
Like, it really was.
And then even like the last Godzilla movie floored me. Like
Yeah,
that movie was awesome. Like
yeah,
I loved how they, like, it all made sense with like how they tied it into the first one.
yep.
Like how they added like what was it, like four different like monsters into it, like the big like the villain kind, I don't even know what you call them, like the anti-hero monsters, I guess, I don't know,
The
like
mute the mutos.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. How they did all that, how they showed like the origins of it in the first one, and then we're like, here you fucking go for the second one, and we're like, they, because basically like it was the first, like the way I saw it was like the first movie set it up, and then the second one was like full on like, all right, fuck it,
yeah.
let's not waste time, let's just show you like 2.5 hours of like this insane monster
Of
movie.
Godzilla. Yeah,
Yeah, and
as
that
opposed
like,
to 10 minutes.
yeah, and that like that really kind of got me energized, and like really really excited for like the night, because like it's, like it's just like on the one hand, it kind of like it like satiates that like need for the like just the big dumb action movies, but it also like there hasn't been like, like we've been so like into like the monster movie, or like the rather like the like the superhero movies and stuff, that like
Yes,
this this is something completely different, and
yes.
it's just like chaos, and it's just
And it's
like
and it's something different, and it's just as massive as the
yeah,
Marvel movies.
it's
So
yeah,
it's like you still
it's
get that same like charge, but
yeah,
it's like something finally. It's like, we've been, don't get me wrong, I don't have superhero movie fatigue at all like some people do,
mhm,
but because I love them all. Like,
right,
but
mhm, I'd
this
agree,
this in combination with the fact that it's my fucking childhood, because I as a kid I loved Godzilla more than I loved Spider-Man. You
mhm,
know what I mean? So like this, like I watched Godzilla constantly when I was a child, and those movies, go back to them, dude. I still love them. I'm not saying, I'm not talking shit about them, because I still love them. But you watch them in comparison to today, and they're dog shit, right? Like if you rate it on that level, So now though, they're getting this like Marvel-esque treatment in a way, and they're getting new storylines and all this stuff. It's
like
it's my childhood. It's
Yeah.
like it's fucking I'm ecstatic about it. Like, yeah.
like the fact that there is in the works and it's like there's proof of it that like two of the biggest like monsters in history like are finally getting like the movie that I feel like they deserve after all
They
this
deserve
time.
exactly.
And it doesn't suck.
Yeah, go back and watch
Like-
the original. Kong literally like shoves a tree branch down Godzilla's throat. Are you serious?
Yeah.
But in fairness, at the time that movie was made, they weren't the biggest monsters in history yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was a different time. Now they are, and now they're getting that kind of treatment. And
I just I really, and it happens every time I see one of these. Anytime we like go to the theater, and if we ever do again, like,
we will.
It always kind of like it's just that moment of like, you know, when you're sitting there watching it and just being like, this is like the fact that they were able to put, you know, I guess speaking in terms of the last Godzilla movie, like, you know, as I was sitting there watching it, like, not only do they have the one villain, like the one like bad character, but they have like multiple different like within the same lore in the same movie, and they're gigantic, and it all makes sense. Like it's like clockwork, man. And like, and seeing it on screen like that, from like that scale of that size, is like, it's awesome. Like,
and the one thing I didn't catch when I was doing the reaction video, because it was literally the first time I saw the trailer, like that reaction video was raw as fuck. It was literally the first time I saw the trailer. And then immediately after, everybody was posting about how Mecha Godzilla was in the trailer. And that made me remember, and I saw a bunch of posts about it, about how the original, way back in the day, the original very first Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla movie, Mecha Godzilla had like you know what he looks like, right? Like he's like he's a robot, he's silver and all that stuff. But in the original fucking movie, that movie started as him having like Godzilla skin, a Godzilla costume on. Like he was in the original movie put out to be like like everybody was supposed to think he was Godzilla. He wasn't like silver until Godzilla realized he was hurting people and came to protect them, and then used his atomic blast and blew off all of his skin to reveal the metal skeleton. So a lot of people online are saying that the Godzilla we see in the trailer is not Godzilla. It's actually Mecha Godzilla in the skin. And because we get the line, Godzilla's hurting people, we don't know why, something's provoking him. I'm of the same mindset or whatever it was. You know, like Godzilla for the last two movies has been built up as a hero. In the last movie, he literally saved the world.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really make sense to paint him as a bad guy in this one. But it does make sense to introduce Mecha Godzilla, paint him as a bad guy, and have Godzilla and Kong come in as the heroes at the end.
You think that like Godzilla and Kong are gonna fight Mecha Godzilla?
I think so. I think so.
To save the universe or whatever.
I think it's to save the world. Yes,
dude.
I think that is on the table. at the very least.
Yeah.
And if that happens, greatest movie ever made. Fuck Citizen Kane. Godzilla vs. Kong is the greatest movie ever made at that point. That's
like,
what
I mean, like, well, like, really, it wasn't really until like the last couple of Avengers movies and like, you know, seeing those in theaters and then kind of like seeing a lot of like the bigger action movies, like, you know, whatever it may be, like the fact that they're able to build these kind of worlds and to build this kind of a set and kind of like bring these things to life and have it look good and have it like make sense instead of just being like half-assed and kind of like, because like that's in a lot of ways kind of what I feel like the first Godzilla movie kind of separates from the ones that followed and from like Skull Island is like, I feel like they were a little bit limited with what they were able to do with him in the first movie. Like they were kind of testing the waters a little bit, and because like, I mean, anybody who's seen King of Monsters will know that like that movie is like balls out, like like insanity for like 2.5 hours, and it's honestly I need to watch it again because I haven't seen it since we watched it in theaters, and it's still like, I don't know, there's just a lot of that kind of blows me away, but like, you know, like the just being able to like bring these to life and being able to like have it just I mean, like even like, you know, to kind of call back to like the trailer, man, like you know, having him like do like the flame breath out of the water and have him like have it like shoot into like the axe thing, and then like but it just looks good, you know, like it made, you know, it's
that was another thing that I caught after I did the reaction video, is that Kong's axe, the blade, is made out of a Godzilla back spike.
Yeah.
Like one of the spikes that comes out of his back, the blade is made out of that. Because in after Godzilla 1, we had Skull Island, which really like laid the groundwork for this like kind of monster universe. Because especially it's so good. So good. Especially at the end credit scene where Tom Hardy and oh God, I love her. I can't remember her name right now though. She's so good in everything. Shit. Yeah, look it up for me. But him and her are sitting in like the interrogation room of Monarch, and then they come in and they're like, this isn't the fucking first time. And then they show, and keep in mind, Skull Island took place in like the 70s. And so like the cave paintings that they show of Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah and Godzilla fighting Kong would have been ancient from the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So they literally teased this battle in that movie from ancient times. So my thought is that axe that Kong has is not from our current Godzilla. It's from a past Godzilla of the same species. That's my thoughts. But do you got her name?
Were you asking about Skull Island, or were you asking about
Skull Island? Yes.
The
big co-star next to Tom Hardy, Loki. I cannot. She also plays Captain fucking Marvel. God damn it! How am I not remembering?
Oh, well, that was Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Thank you.
I
couldn't get Elizabeth Olsen, Wanda, Scarlet Witch out of my head.
Yeah. I kept. Are they actually like, are they related?
Who?
Brie Larson and whoever's
Wanda?
Yeah.
No.
Different.
But Wanda is the third sister of the Olsen twins.
Like IRL, like.
Yeah, in real life. Yeah, in real life. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was
she is the Olsen twins' sister. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, aside from that, Tom Tom Hardy wasn't in Skull Island. It
Oh
was
my god! Oh my god! I'm so
Tom
sorry.
Hiddleston.
Tom
Like,
Hiddleston, Loki.
yeah.
God damn it! I fucked
And
that up. I'm
also,
so sorry because we
like,
were talking about Venom earlier.
yeah,
We got the
yeah. No,
Toms mixed
I
up.
knew, I knew where the connection came from. I was like, yeah, but
Oh
yeah,
fuck!
it's him. Yeah, like Samuel L. Jackson, John
John C.
Goodman, and John
Riley,
C. Riley.
John Goodman. Yep.
Yeah, in that
Brie
movie,
Olson or Brie Larson. Yeah.
Brie Olson's different, different kind of movie. But yeah, yeah, like regardless,
I'm
yeah,
like,
like
hey, anybody that watches this knows I'm dog shit with names. So
um yeah, so to kind of like bring it full circle, like I am like I'm it's kind of the first like bigger like cinematic kind of like movie, like big, like, release that I'm kind of excited about, because like, and I hope that there are a few that like, or that we at least like get a chance to maybe see this in theaters at some point, see this on the big screen, because to me, like, what really, and honestly, like, I kind of feel a little bit biased about it, because the only time that I've ever seen these is when they have been on the theater screen.
okay.
And to kind of double on top of that, like, the extreme theater screen that we see it on is like
Amazing.
something else.
Amazing.
Like,
It's
that's a whole
amazing
experience
theater.
in itself.
Yeah.
um so like I would really like to see, because like that's kind of half of it, man. Like,
Yes. Yes.
half of it is seeing
Oh,
it in theaters and seeing it
yes.
on just this gigantic screen where it's like,
With people in the crowd. You got a
yeah,
bucket of fucking popcorn in your lap, smelling the popcorn, like the
yeah,
whole the everything, the textile, the
the way that
smell, the everything. Like
the way that like whenever you see one of them on stage, or like on the screen, when like they first show up, like there's that rumbling that happens. You
yeah,
feel it in the
the-
seat, man.
yeah,
Like
like the fucking cheers, dude. The
yeah,
cheers, like
like that is really, to me, what
it's
makes these
and
so
this
great.
and this one would be
Yeah,
especially that because you're gonna have people who cheer the first time Kong's on the screen, and then you're gonna have people who cheer the first time Godzilla's on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm team Godzilla. Go fuck yourself. Like
yeah, yeah.
all
I
day,
mean,
all day. So yeah, like
well, and just like, you know,
the theater does bring an extra element to it, though. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, and it's the same reason that like I have a hard time watching some of like the Marvel movies or like the Avengers movies on just like a regular screen, is because like there's so much of it that just like like the first time you see it is like, it's, I mean, it's that first impressions kind of
It's
thing,
so
but like,
giant.
and
You
then to
can't.
kind of see it like smaller scale
Yeah.
in some way, like
I, I,
I won't say that like, goddamn, sorry, uh, choking up or whatever. I won't say that like it cheapens it for me, but I'll say that like it's a different kind of experience when you see
no,
like,
I definitely get that, but also like I do sometimes watch the last 10 minutes of Endgame on YouTube, or certain scenes from Doctor Who or Sherlock, or just certain shows that I love that are extra epic, like just to get like pumped up. Like, cause I swear to
oh, for
God,
sure,
like when every single time I see Captain America grab Mjolnir and start fighting Thanos,
yeah.
like I'm ready to do a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like it just amps me up. I know it amps me up. So like I guess like I 100% get what you're saying, but I also do like still get amped from it from the small screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
in a big
You know,
bad
like
way.
you can't take away just like the overall epic feel of it and just like what it is, because like, you know, there's certain things that are like just universally just like
Epic.
I can't not get excited like watching the last, like, you know, that last sequence of Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
On
like
your left.
yeah. Like when
Oh
everybody
my
comes in and when they just
god.
kind of like
Hey,
anytime you can successfully capture like a wall of death in a movie, like
that is such a perfect way to put it. Oh
like,
my god.
because that's what I saw. Like, it was just this
Avengers
big, like,
Endgame is the
yeah.
most epic wall of death in history.
I mean,
Cheers
yeah.
to that. Cheers to that.
I wish I didn't kill all
I
my
mean,
stuff because
I mean, like it's seriously like, because what it's, I mean, come on. You've spent at that point in time, if you've been watching all the movies, you've spent like 7 or 8 years with Captain America. You know this character. You are attached to him. He is in a lot of ways all of us in a way. He is kind of that guy. That role in these films.
Mhm.
And he's standing there alone with a broken shield against an army that Thanos has brought.
Mhm.
And then you hear on your left. Like, I just,
And then all of a sudden, just like,
he Bombay! Wakanda
Yeah.
forever! He Bombay! He
Yeah.
Bombay! Come the fuck on, man. Like, yeah, seriously, I mean,
I'll say that
probably
like,
the greatest scene in movie history. Like,
I have never had more like I even remember like sitting there watching that and just having like just the biggest like just dumb smile on my face.
like you're
the
ready to
entire time, like,
you're ready to
yeah,
give him
like,
has any movie ever brought you closer to the feeling you get watching a metal band live?
nope.
It's the closest you get. That everybody
Yeah.
that everybody that might be watching, I doubt there's anybody, but anybody that might be watching this that doesn't understand metal, that is the closest you get in movies, is on your left, and then the ensuing battle is metal. Like, it's
That's metal as fuck. Like,
oh my god, dude.
It's like the equivalent to like you've gone through like or rather you've endured like a 4 out of 5 band set, and the headliner's about to go on and the lights go off and the intro starts and you're standing there and it's like, I know exactly what's about to happen.
And the intro is woe to you, oh
Yeah.
earth and sea.
Like, yeah, like just brilliant. Like,
it's just the most metal fucking thing that can possibly exist. Like, it's
yeah.
he Bombay.
Yeah. And like, you know, I don't know. It just I really feel like in its own right, in its own way, that like a lot of these like the bigger monster movies that we're talking about kind of have, and it's not like the only reason that it's different is because it isn't like a 10-year buildup. But in a lot of ways, I feel like and what's really making me excited to check these out is like, you know, for one, I feel like that we've reached a point in movie making and in technology and just like with everything that's able to come together that like, you know, you can bring something like this to life and have it be possible and have it just like, you know, completely like just like hit every note really. And like it, whereas before, like even in like the earlier years of trying to like figure it out, and like the earlier like Godzilla movies, or like the whatever it is, like, and even some of like the early like the midway kind of like Marvel movies, like they were kind of, you could tell that they were like that they were kind of working towards something, but they didn't really have like the means to make it happen in a lot of ways. Like I feel like, with cinema, and with just like the green screen, and with like all the digital technology that's come out, um like beyond like Endgame, and any of the, like the Marvel movies, like, because there's been a lot of like advancements that have been made since those movies have come out, and even in the time when they were, um that I feel like now, for things like, while we don't have necessarily like like the big like Marvel movies, or the big like superhero movies, like, and I don't know, we've talked about this a bunch, like, the fact that like, and to me, the next logical step, and the next thing that is like the most possible, is these kind of monster movies, and I even heard the other day that like Cloverfield's getting a sequel,
Oh yeah,
like
like
the original,
a
like the
true
actual.
sequel, a
Yeah,
true sequel
yeah,
to the first one.
yeah. And really, to me, like, that was kind of one that, like, when that came out, I remember seeing that in theaters, and that was one of those that, like, it was, not only was it like a found footage movie, and like kind of like the earlier like precursor to what those would become, but like it like, it's such a weird like thing to sit through, because like it's like, from the perspective of people that don't really know what this thing that they are, that they're fighting against is, and then eventually you see it, and like the whole movie kind of ends in a weird kind of way, and they don't really
I
like ever really
I
explain it and stuff.
no, I adore that movie. I
Yeah, it
love
was,
that.
dude, it was great. Like, I remember like seeing it. I think I saw it like twice in theaters, because it was that.
Yeah,
But like, just like having that perspective, and having like that to me really kind of like changed the game, as far as like
and
what you can do with a with a story that's like, because like monster movies, and that kind of like big scale thing, is like, it's such a delicate thing to kind of work with, because like it
it
can
is
be
hard.
really bad really quickly. We've seen a lot of bad examples of it, and I feel like that, like, and maybe it was like kind of like that with like the earlier Iron Man movies, maybe it was like the earlier Marvel movies, but I feel like they're just now starting to figure out, like, how can we make these stories that are gigantic, first of all, and that, like, I mean, I guess, like, thinking.
The first Marvel movie was Iron Man
Right.
in this context, and that was directed by John Favreau. And I actually watched a documentary about like the making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and stuff, and the oh my god, I gotta look this up. Hold on, because I just forgot a name. I'm dog shit with names.
Well, hey,
God damn
real
it.
quick, I'm gonna grab another brewski.
No, it's all right.
That's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh,
God damn it. Come on. I know this name so well. It's God damn it. I hear it all the time. Come on. It's Walt Disney. But that was after the fact. It's not John Favreau. It's shit. It's oh my god. Feige. Kevin Feige. There we go. Okay. So I think it was Kevin Feige. Let me just confirm that. Make sure I'm right. Yes. Okay. Yes. The chief creative officer of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige. Yes. He was involved from the beginning. And I watched a documentary about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and it kind of started from its inception. And that documentary talked about how the fact that when they made Iron Man, they kind of like, I don't know if they pitched it or not, but they were like, what if we could get to the Avengers? And the actual, like, okay, so when a movie gets, when a big blockbuster movie or whatever gets made, it gets fucking released. It has its initial release date for people in the premiere. It has its premiere, and then it gets released, right? Well, the premiere of Iron Man 1 did not feature the after credit scene. And as a matter of fact, the movie got such a more positive reaction than they anticipated that after it premiered in Hollywood, they filmed and added the extra credit scene, the end credit scene, with Samuel L. Jackson, introducing Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury with Iron Man, Tony Stark, talking about how he's got an initiative going on. That scene was filmed after the premiere of the film in Hollywood for the release to the rest of the world because of the insane positive reaction it got. So like this universe was that's kind of like the beautiful artistic thing about this universe, is that it was really put together on like unexpectations and hopes in a lot of ways. They were just like, what if we could get to this? And then Iron Man did so, like during the premiere did so well, then they film the end credit scene with Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury introducing the Avengers, and it was totally unexpected. It was a totally unexpected thing. They expected Iron Man to be a one-off, but then it did so well in the premiere that they filmed that end credit tag, the first ever Marvel end credit scene. And
I actually forgot about that.
And yeah, like Kevin Feige is the mastermind behind it all. Like, and I don't remember how we got on this topic, but yeah, like that is how that happened. Yeah.
As far as
no, that's how I got on that topic, is I wanted to bring up Kevin Feige because I thought for a second,
cheers.
Cheers. What was the movie you brought up before you left?
Cloverfield.
That's right. And so I was looking up the director of the original Cloverfield because I thought that it was the same director as the original Godzilla, but it is not. And the reason why I thought that is because Gareth Edwards, the director of the 2014 Godzilla, the reason why he got picked to do that movie is because he did a movie previously called Monsters, where it's literally about giant monsters attacking the earth, and his take on it was absolutely breathtaking. It's a great movie. And I thought for a second that, and he did also direct, he did direct the first Godzilla. That's how we got picked for that one. But he kind of does it more Spielberg, Jawsy, where he doesn't show the monster till the end. And a lot of people got mad at that. But I actually quite liked it a lot. And I thought for a second that he was the director of Cloverfield was the same director of the original Godzilla, but I am incorrect. The original director of Cloverfield was the brilliant director Matt Reeves, who directed 28 Days Later the Planet of the Apes, the new Planet of the Apes movies, and he's also directing the movie that's coming out next year, the new Batman movie. So
that's gonna be.
So he's the one that's directing that. Yeah.
Wow. I see. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. But
yeah. I'm fucking anybody that wants to do a new monster movie, anybody that wants to like continue that, like bring it on.
I
Like,
mean, one of the movies I'm most excited about for that got delayed is the new Guillermo del Toro monster movie. Oh shit. Oh yeah, to look that up. Antlers. I think it's called Antlers.
Yeah,
it's about the Wendigo. It's about the Wendigo monster, and it looks. There's 2 trailers out for it, and it looks fucking amazing. There's actually also a featurette out featuring Guillermo del Toro talking about the film, and it looks fucking amazing. I cannot wait. It was supposed to be out already. I am beyond excited for that movie. I cannot wait till I'm actually bummed it's not one of the ones on HBO's slate. I really want to see that movie, Antlers.
Yeah, it looks really good. I remember
really
like seeing that and being like, it's kind of a different. It's really weird. It's like
super weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
At the same time, like he's always kind of had that, like, I mean,
Pan's Labyrinth. Come on.
Yeah.
Super weird. But fucking A, man, I don't even know how long we've been going. We should probably wrap this up. We've covered a gambit of shit tonight. Metal, movies, TV shows. We've covered all the things we fucking love. That's for sure. Let's wrap this one up, shall we?
So, yeah,
all right. I don't even fucking know what episode number this is. I don't fucking care.
We gotta be this gotta be at least 170.
At least.
170.
It's maybe. I don't know. But at least 170 for sure. So pretty much our first, like, just standard episode of 2021, where we're just getting kind of caught up on all the things that have been announced and released and everything like that. Just shooting the shit. Like, this is awesome, man. This was so much fun. So I hope all of you, if you're still watching this right now, you are fucking amazing, and thank you so fucking much. You're the fucking best. I honestly can't believe it, but that's gonna be it for this episode. As always, cheers, my brother. Cheers.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. Cheers, everyone.
Oh, hey, check out Orcs.
Check out Orcs. Check out Bogwraith. Links in the description below. Fuck, I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode before I post it so I remember all the links.
There's a lot of things that will, like, it'll be in the description.
God damn it. I fucked myself on that one. But
yeah.
But this episode will be out. And I don't know why I'm saying very soon, because if you're watching this, it's already out. But I fucked that up. But in any case, as always, we will be back again very soon with a lot more. We got a lot planned. Bogwraith has a lot planned, and there's going to be a lot in the next few months. So keep an eye out. Check us out. Thank you so much for watching. And fuck it. Let's wrap this one up. All right, everybody. You know the fucking drill, right?
Don't act like you don't know.
Don't act like you don't know.
You sitting right there.
You don't act like you don't know what's coming, all right? Raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Good night.